Number 24, Void Realm. That was my attempt at a dramatic voice. Void Realm is where we have gone to attempt to beat Void. We are at the penultimate etude. No human has ever traversed the dimensional barrier and returned successfully without consequence, without dire consequence. And you learn a bit about what happened to the previous group of warriors when you were just a kid that attempted to end Void. So the sheet music for this is very strange and different. The way forward is uncertain. Explore playing any whole note double stop in any order. That's these guys or gals. You do not have to play all the double stops. Find which ones flow well together. There is no meter or tempo, so vary the notes, durations, dynamics, and articulations. Essentially, you've been given notes. That's it. No more instruction than that. You have to decide which ones you're going to play. And it could be as simple as just kind of visually going across, okay, next line. I mean, there's not really lines, but you know. Or you might jump around. Some of these double stops are going to make very dissonant sounds with the backing track. The backing track being basically steady C minor. Very creepy, very dark, very ominous. This key signature here applies to the entire etude. So all of these, everything on the page is in the key of C minor for all versions. In fact, there's really no difference between Noble and Legend for this etude. So at 3 minutes, you hear what sounds like an explosion, which you are certain comes from where Void waits. Who knows what the explosion is? Maybe it's just energy building up and dissipating. That's your cue to go on to the next section. So let me just find that really quick, and we can just hear what that sounds like. So you've got 3 minutes to explore this section. You can go as fast or slow as you want. Excuse me. You can do any dynamics, you can do any articulation. It's really whatever you feel like works. We're about to hear the explosion. We've just heard the explosion. So that's your cue to go on to this second section. At 6 minutes, you hear what sounds like another explosion. You follow the sound. So we're venturing deeper and deeper into the Void Realm. We've got another 3 minutes to check this one out. Now we're doing pairs of double stops. So the idea is you play each little fragment. And again, which direction you take, which ones you decide to play, up to you. So of course, 6 minutes. Let's find that one. Somewhere around here, I think. There we go. Once we hear 6 minutes, the 6 minute explosion, we're down at the bottom of this first page, and where we'll have groups of intervals. There's our explosion, and you can decide again which order you take. I would say once you've picked a fragment, try to play through the whole fragment. And this goes on and on and on. The idea is the fragments get longer and longer, and by the end, there's really you're just kind of playing through it, because we're heading to Void. We've found Void. We're then running. So you might have to play this one quite a bit faster. The intervals do get more intense as you go, and yeah. So this last section, you have 40 seconds before the etude. The track runs out. My recommendation for playing this etude is. One, if any of this material further on is too difficult for you, because remember, this etude is the same in Noble and Legend version, just stick to this one. Just explore these double stops out of time, out of order. You don't have to go on. Basically, every section is going to be harder, so you have to tell yourself where is enough, and you can tell your student, if you're a teacher, kind of put a caesura. Don't go past that line. I would also recommend actually learning this with the track, because the track provides, there's no tempo, right? So the track provides a sound world in which you can help tune. So there's no pressure to like go faster than you need to with the track. Just because you hear the explosion doesn't mean you have to go on to the next section. This is just a tool for you to practice double stops and intonation. And once you get really comfortable with the shapes of your hand, how you're approaching these, I would say consider very seriously how you're going to shape them. You know, consider, yes, it's an etude, but consider if someone were listening, if I were listening to this performance, what would I want to hear in terms of phrasing, dynamic structure, pacing, you know, tone, all of those good things, dynamics, to make it sound really as musical as possible. So this is a very open-ended etude, especially in the notation. I don't think you'll ever see this anywhere else. How I made this was every single one of these is a separate layer in Photoshop. It took a real long time. So that's all I have to say about that one. Next up is our battle with Void, final battle. So if you have any questions on Void Realm, Etude 24, you can email nick@nickravel.com. Or you can come to a Zoom cafe, come hang out, we'll play etudes, we will chat, and you can ask questions. You can register at nickravel.com/hero levels. See you in the final battle.